What's the haps? I'm Maruka, and I'm here to find out what I've been missing out on. Between the Steam sales and the indie bundles, I, like so many others, now own hundreds of games I haven't even touched. Now I'm finally going to find out if any of them were worth buying. So today I'm going to be taking a quick look at Really Big Sky. Really Big Sky is a side-scrolling shooter developed by Boss Baddie, released in July 2011. And I picked up as part of the Indie Royale Chosen 2 bundle a few months back. So, as I was going to take a peek under the hood to see how good a PC game this is, whether it's some port of an Xbox Live indie title, or if it's actually a good PC title in its own right. And I'm pleased to report that it is actually. We've had a lot of titles over the last few weeks that sort of haven't actually supported much in the way of actual settings. So we've got graphics settings depending on your actual PC's performance. You can turn VSync on and off, change resolutions, which is actually something I've been surprised to see isn't in a lot of games lately. Xbox controller support, which is good because, you know, dual stick shooter, you kind of want that, so very nice that that's in there. You can play with a keyboard if you so desire, but I wouldn't recommend it. We've got a narrator which I'm going to turn on because he's a good voice, but always on I will suggest gets a little bit too much. A few times is okay. You might want to turn him off, but basically we've got a Cockney kind of character narrating it, which as an accent is kind of, I think that's an accent that would go over quite charming to as well say the American audience, but to a British audience it might start grating a little bit. For me, it's kind of an everyday voice to me. I don't think it's anything particularly exciting. It's not an ooh exotic accent. No, it's just a Londoner. But he does the job well. The narrator fits the bill as being entertaining pretty well. So we got all sorts of stuff, including a sound test, which is something I haven't seen in a tremendous amount of games these days. You always used to get them back in like the Mega Drive era. Most games had a sound test. You don't get that these days. That's an often underused feature. So that's my settings. Did I turn the narrator on? I did not. Let's hang on, wait, back. So we'll keep him on the low because he does grate a bit. So save. And now we can start a game. So we've got a bunch of different modes to play through. Classic is the meat and potatoes of the game. This is your standard side-scrolling twin-stick shooter kind of thing. And we'll jump right in, we can see what the game's all about. We've got all these upgrades to upgrade, as upgrades do. By scoring points, you gain upgrades, and you can spend them on things. And it kind of grows exponentially, so it gets harder and harder and harder to max it out. Got wing cannons are extra bullets, claymores are mines, orbital is kind of a orbiting shield kind of dealy. Electromagnet's kind of a special attack that you get 3 shots of in a level. Magnet coil is the absorption range of the things that let you upgrade, so that's kind of a pretty good one to upgrade early on because it lets you upgrade stuff a lot faster. Contra's shots to the rear, and then there's a bunch of these other ones highlighted in red which are co-op only stuff, such as wideband, fire 2 more shots, polar shots, fire another 2 shots, coherence, more power on your lasers, frequency of laser reload time, so I guess fire rate, engine speed, and a shield, which don't appear in single player, so I'm not going to see that. So the fact that there is a co-op mode is quite nice though, so it's not something that's going to be demonstrated today, but it's there. So fairly straightforward: move, shoot, screenshot, and drill stroke special attack. And we'll see what the drill's about very shortly. So it picks a random name for your ship every time, which is an interesting start. And there's our narrator already. He's kind of a bit very flippant, very sarcastic. He's kind of, the idea of this game is they've given you this ultra top of the line, really powerful spaceship, and they really don't care what you do with it. You can just run it into the ground if you like. So this is the drill. The drill takes us through planets. So if you flip over to the drill, you can't shoot, but you can go through planets and asteroids and other things that are solid and otherwise can't be flown through. So then we got this big guy over here, along with a sarcastic comment from our narrator. This is an entirely different type of player. This is our gas giant. The gas giant's often a subtle one. It kind of, because it's a really vibrant, colourful game. as soon as it changes to a different kind of vibrant, colourful, swirly background, it's not always the most apparent of things, and you kind of got to be fairly vigilant to actually pick up that that's something that's actually happening. And quite oftentimes I'll miss that. I'm impressed that I actually spotted it at that time. We've got this other little mechanic whereby... Okay, I'll describe that one first. When you pick up 150 of these star shards, as they're called, these are what we use to upgrade. These are the upgrade shards. When you pick up 150 of them, you also start doing this crazy, powerful shot thing that just rips through everything. On top of that, if you don't fire for a while... Okay, I'm trapped in ice, which requires... Yeah, firing lasers gets you out of ice pretty quick. Anything warm, getting shot, shooting, will do that. The thing is, I'm trying to describe mechanics, and there's too many of them happening right about here. So, and that's a problem. There's a lot of things happening in this game, and you're not going to know what they all are off the bat, and they're going to be tricky to get to grips with. That, I think, was some kind of time dilation thing. I think maybe we went near a black hole or something. And there's a few different effects like that, and oftentimes you're not going to know what's happening. You're frequently not going to know what's happening, especially early times. You're going to have to experience a few times before you even figure it out. And you know what? I like that as a mechanic. I don't mind not knowing what's happening all the time. So there's my crazy super laser again. I don't mind not knowing what's going on in the game all the time. You might like to have a little more control over it. It's a personal preference, I suppose. But for me, I'm okay with this. It's just kind of go with the flow, really. You're not gonna know the score at all times, and you just got to deal with that. So one of the mechanics I was trying to describe earlier is if you don't fire for a while. I can't remember the exact name of the term for it. The game has a term for it, but basically you charge up the laser and it'll be more powerful. Your ship stores energy while you're not firing, and it'll do more damage when you fire after taking a pause for a while. And this guy will one-shot us, so I kind of don't want to get hit by a giant beam. The other stuff's not so bad, but the giant laser will ruin your morning. But he's in the red, so he's going to be nearly out of this now. I think he's going to... Ah, yeah, super laser. Come on, this guy's nearly down. He's red. There we go. And that's a boss down. There are many, many bosses in this game. Well, so there are definitely more than a few. We can do a boss rush mode later to see a few of them in action. It's one of those. Ah, see, that was an asteroid. That would have been a nasty one to collide with. You can drill through it. I didn't drill through that one. Youch. So then we get some little statistics at the end that tell us how well we did and stuff, and that's good. So my average kills are 76. I just got 157, so I'm up 107% over my average. I got one more boss kill than my average, and so on and so forth. So yeah, let's upload that score. It's a pretty respectable score. Let's see how that fares on the scoreboards. But let's do another run. Let's do another run. Let's see if anything different appears this time. So then all those star shards at the end of a round can be converted into points to spend in the upgrades. There's no real point in my upgrading the ones highlighted in red because I can't use them outside of co-op. So I've been working on the ones that aren't highlighted in red. So I got 33,000 points to spend from that run, which is a pretty good chunk. But at this stage, if I start upgrading things like wing cannon, that's going to chew through it pretty quickly. Magnet coil, it just lets me grab more of those shards to upgrade faster, so it's a pretty good one to upgrade at any time. Orbital is the little shield that goes around, so I'd like a few points in that just to improve the power of that. And might as well spend that on electromagnet, and that's an upgrade. So this soundtrack is definitely not something I would normally listen to, but it fits the game well. I do quite enjoy the soundtrack in the context of the game. It's not something I would comfortably, just sit down and listen to just for something to listen to. But I'm more than willing to bet some people would. Not my cup of tea, but in the context of the game, it's good. Some of these planets have bombs, which I've not actually managed to detonate any yet, so I don't know. Let's go right through on them. That didn't actually seem to do anything. I actually can't. There doesn't appear to be any real detriment to going through the bombs, I guess, then. Which is a little bit odd. The health meter is the little white lines on the dot at the top of the screen, which is not immediately obvious. That took me a while before I figured that one out, I'm going to be honest. So the dot moves from the left-hand side of the screen to the right-hand side of the screen as you take damage, and then once you're dead, you're dead. So this guy might not immediately look like it. This guy is a boss. So he's going to teleport around a few times, leaving sort of areas of damage behind him. And then he's going to move to the middle of the screen, and he's going to start doing these waves of bullets, I guess. And I need to basically dodge. It's not terribly tricky to dodge. If you've done any kind of bullet hell, this is downright trivial. And he wasn't too hard to beat, honestly. Not sure what that guy is, but he wants shooting. They all want shooting. They're all enemies. These sections are gonna take it out of me because I'm gonna run into everything. See that dot just raced across the screen there. I've gone through some sort of strange inverted dimension that I don't know what it is. See what I mean about you? Sometimes you've got no idea what's going on. All you can do is go with the flow and hope you don't die in the process. And you know what? I'm okay with that. That's kind of cool. So I'm about half health. We've got... Oh, this is a boss, isn't it? In inverted colour, so I can't tell what it is. This guy, you got to burrow through the middle and then shoot him in the core when it's open. I'm a tit. Yeah, okay. I ran straight into the laser there. So basically the idea of that one is shoot when the core's open and vulnerable. But no, that wasn't a very good score. Let's not do that. And let's go into next. So we can spend our upgrades. We've only got 10,000 this time, so it's not going to get us very far. If you can get a decent score on your first run, you'll get loads of upgrades off the bat, but at higher levels it gets harder and harder and harder to buy them. The last couple of challenges require that I do max out at least one of these stats, so I should probably start working on one of them. And why not Orbital? Orbital's a fun one to max. So it gives me defensive abilities. So here we've got a nice little statistics summary, all the different modes I played, all the different enemies that killed me, how many times I've killed them, and a bunch of different achievements which aren't actually immediately obvious what any of them are. Some of them, like 500 kills, are fairly explanatory. Mr. Blobby, I think, was part of some black goopy enemy. Boss killer, I guess, for killing 4 bosses, is it? Was risky. What is that? That doesn't tell me anything. So, achievements not obvious, but achievements. Right, let's try a different different mode even. And you can press Y to go into upgrades there, which is nice. You can just go and do your upgrades at any time. So we've got all the different modes. We've got Boss Rush. You know what Boss Rush is? Just no boss, all bosses, no intermediary content. Peaceful is just keep playing till you've had enough, I guess. No scores, no competition, no game over. Same as classic mode, but you don't die. Hell, hard mode, obviously. Retro is kind of cool because it changes the music and the colours, and it all looks. It's very old school. It does keep a very modern style, but it's a much more old school feel. So I'll try that one out and show you. Marathon I've not actually tried, which is speed and power build distance over time. That could be an interesting one. Nightmare, I guess, is even harder than Hell. Why not? Countdown is unlimited lives, how much score can you get in 2 minutes, which is cool. Pacifism, you can't shoot, survive as long as you can. I think that's sort of derived from the mode of the same name from Geometry Wars. And then we're back around to arcade, aren't we? So that's the lot. So let's go into retro, because retro is kind of a fun little quirky twist on the formula. So any other mode you do is going to have all these power-ups, perks to pick, and the sort of video, the old school video effects sort of overlaid at the top makes it a bit difficult to read. But so we can pick one perk for this one. Some of them let you pick 2, some of them let you pick 3. This one only lets you pick 1 perk, and I'm gonna go with I fancy laser spread, actually, just for wider lasers. And that acronym there reminded me what the special mode is called. So we're playing in 1986 here. And oh, that's right. Yes, there's no you don't shoot with the right stick on this one. you just shoot by pressing A. There's no special moves, all you've got is move and shoot in vaguely the direction you're moving. Interesting to know, last time I played this it said it was 1990 mode, this time it says 1986, so I guess the year and thereby the visual effects is randomized to a certain degree every time. You do get 3 lives, which is a good job because I just wasted one of them. I wonder if I can respawn here. There we go, I'm back. Cool. So yeah, we're in 1986 mode, which is like really, really retro. I don't know how old it goes or how modern it goes as far as retro is concerned. No. This boss is awkward when you can't shoot in a given direction. But yeah, 1990 mode looked a little bit more up to date than this. Not a lot, but a little bit. This looks really proper like something from the mid 80s, I guess. Which is very much the idea, I suppose. Yeah, bosses change in difficulty a lot depending on where you're allowed to shoot, and in this case, makes a major difference. See, I don't know how I'm supposed to deal with this particularly well, other than, you know, kill the guy. That'll do it. That'll probably work. So, the inverted colour mode, that is the same as it ever was, but with retro graphics. So there's loads of bits like this. Just really nice touches. All the modes they're all pretty cool. There's something special in each of them. There's plenty to keep you occupied if you're into retro shooters. You can grind the classic mode over and over again until you got all the power-ups, but there's all this to play with as well. Now this guy's going to be tricky to hit because, ow, yeah, because he can one-shot me. And I guess we lose the video effects once it's over. Okay, so now let's not bother with that and move onwards. So retro's cool. There's that random element that I actually wasn't aware was there is kind of cool. So I'll pick a year at random and give you a different style. I'm not going to do hell. I'm not silly enough to do hell. I might try boss rush because boss rush is cool, which is standard format, same as classic mode. Looks the same as classic mode. Now 3 perks this time. Actually, I think that varies each time I play that. I think it probably gives you a random selection, because I'm sure last time I did boss rush I only had 2 perks. I don't know. Anyway. So, given that we've got 3, we should do really well here. So we're going to have a shield, and we're going to have wideband and laser spread. Is wideband the one I needed? Oh, I think I may have picked the wrong power-up for what I was thinking. Never mind. Bullet hell indeed, sir. So yeah, as far as the narrator goes, your mileage may vary. You might find him a hilarious and charming and witty chap who you cannot possibly get enough of, and you might want him on talking all the time. I think he's alright in small doses, which is why I prefer to have his commentary on sort of minimal rather than full. But at least you get the option there. That's cool. The fact that you can have minimal or full or off if you really, really, really hate the guy, which is also an option. So yeah, we can do this boss properly this time. We can shoot through the gaps and try and dodge all the bullets. And it'll slowly go from yellow to orange to red, and then when he's red, he's nearly dead. There he goes, red. And boom. And that's the end of that. He drops behind a multiplier, which I'm going to happily stay inside before drilling my way out. The uses of the drill, actually, there are a few, and they're kind of cool. The fact that there are multiple uses for it in various places in the game. Oh, nice.
Good as mine.
Well, thank you for that useful tidbit of information. But what I'm going to do with this guy is just shoot him in the face repeatedly until he stops moving. Seems like a pretty solid strategy, I guess. Ah, I don't have the orbital guy, which normally keeps me pretty safe from this guy. This guy I'm actually required to, you know, I suppose have skill, which ain't really my style. Not doing the skill. But I'm firing a lot of bullets, which I guess is a consequence of most of my perk, because I picked bullets for perks. So that's cool. I don't think I've actually demonstrated this special ability properly yet. I should probably try and find an excuse to do that. Yeah, let's just jump across that. There's lasers around the outside. That was silly. That was very, very silly. I was too tired to go on, and let's try a different mode. One more mode, I think. Just a quick run through something else. Just something to let me demonstrate the fact that there is a special move, because I haven't done that yet. So, whatever marathon is. Something about building power-ups over time. That's given me 3 perks. So I will have more boomers, because the boomers are the big, powerful shots. BPB is back pressure build-up. That's the special charge up your shots kind of thing. Coherence. Can't remember what that actually does. Yeah, laser speed sounds pretty cool. Let's play with that. The Darwin Holst minus 0.873. So that's another completely irrelevant bit that's just kind of nice, the randomly generated ship names. There's absolutely no purpose to it, but it's just kind of nice that you just... Yes, you're getting a new ship every time. Yes, you ruined the last one. Yes, they've got an unlimited supply of it, and yep, they're giving you a new one to mess up this time around. This is completely arbitrary excuse just for flying and shooting lots of things, which is just, here's an expensive ship that we don't want, here, go trash it out in space fighting enemies. Which is hard to argue with, that suits me. There's more bomb. That was a very small planet, and surely by that stretch, very elongated. For that planet to have been that thin through the middle, it was like thinner than it was vertical, so it would have been like a crazy sausage-shaped planet, that one. So, I think the red ones are actually powered downs. I think that would have been an elongated planet as well, though. So I probably shouldn't have grabbed those. Yeah, the narrator, I very much expect him to be sort of Marmite kind of thing. You're either gonna like him or probably not like him. Like I say, I could take him or leave him. He doesn't often have much particularly useful to say either. He's just random Cockney exclamations, and that's. I think I got iced there. Yeah, like I say, if you get iced, you just want to defrost yourself. So we got an excuse to. I'll just show you my special move there. That's the special move. That's all it is. So there, laser speed down. So I want that. I'm not sure what this big round thing is. I think that's, yeah, I think that may be a wormhole, which means we're now going to the inverted dimension again. That's... Oh, there's a bomb in the middle of this one. Okay, they're not all multipliers. Okay, interesting to note. I've only ever seen multipliers in the middle of those before. And we're going into another wormhole, I guess. A lot of wormholes around here today. Thing is, a lot of the enemies are very difficult to see in inverted mode. This is just kind of make it difficult. You're not sure what you're supposed to fly towards and what you're not. I suppose generally speaking, a fly away from everything is probably good advice. And yeah, I think I said this before, but it does get very chaotic. There's a lot of things going on all the time that you're not going to know what they are. And I've been playing this for a couple of hours, and there's still things that I'm like, whoa, what's this? What just happened? This all just went very strange, and I don't know how to deal with this. The most you can do is just, you know, make the most of it. Try and not die and have fun. This is mainly what this game is about, and I like that. It's not. It does have leaderboards, and you can try and be competitive, but without a certain degree of expertise. I don't know how I got out. I don't know how I was supposed to get out of that one. Without a certain degree of experience and expertise, all you can do is just go with the flow and try and have fun. And why the devil not? It's a fun game. It's vibrant, it's colourful, it's got a pretty cool soundtrack, and it's got a lot of variety in there. There's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, there are at some point random dinosaur skulls floating in space, which I haven't even seen yet. but they make everything go slow-mo and they shoot fire at you, and it's like, what on earth's the point in this? This is really weird, but okay. Just go with it. It's fun. Why not? On an additional note, we've got this little library here which shows off pretty much everything in the game, so you can see all the mechanics. There are still things I haven't seen, I don't know what that is. There must clearly be apparently a phone box somewhere in there, but which I must have seen, but God only knows. So all the different things, there's a Pandora's box, fireballs, computer parts, well I don't even know. If I've seen these things I didn't pick up on them. And it tells you everything about it. There's a bit to read through there. If you like that kind of thing, it's there for you. You don't have to read it. A sun. Surprising. Who'd have thought there'd be one of those in space? Anyway. That's pretty much Really Big Sky in a nutshell. Really Big Sky by Boss Baddie. Available for $3.99 on Steam, Desura and Gamersgate, or regional equivalent. Oddly enough, £6.95 over on Green Man Gaming, but they do some hefty discounts from time to time, so you might potentially be able to pick it up cheaper there. $9.99 on Indievania. And also available on Impulse, but not in Europe, so it refuses to sell that to me and won't even offer me a price, so I couldn't possibly tell you. I guess that's a US region only thing. But yeah, I think for this game, $3.99 is probably your best bet for this outside of a sale, and it's very good value as is. It's well worth picking up at that price. A lot of entertainment to be had in there. And it also now includes the recent Steam trading cards, so if that's a selling point for you, that's also in there as well. So this has been Really Big Sky. I've been Maroka. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.